Hello, my name is Dave, and welcome to the Points of Articulation. And today we have TIE Fighters. Now, as you can see, they were all the same exact mold, except different paint. And first we'll go over the mold, and then the different paint that goes. So let's get started. Okay, first up is the original release TIE Fighter. And as you can see, it's very detailed. We have the panels for the wings. You can see all the little pieces and nodes and whatnot. Support beams going across to hold the panels up. There's even a raised section on the wing. And that's the same for the inside as well. For the cockpit area, you can see there's a lot of supports, pieces leading up to the cockpit area, the circle. We have the lasers, the transparent plastic for the window, and that is actually molded to fit these beams in there, like the Emperor's window in the Death Star. We have the top of the cockpit, which is detailed, and actually you can open that up. On the inside there is a little TIE pilot, so that's a cool little treat. And it's detailed, but they just painted it black, so you lose a lot of it, but it's cool they put it in there. For the back, we have the ion engine, which is detailed pretty good. And then underneath we have our 2 screws in the porthole. And this one came with a blue stand, since it was one of the originals, and I'll get to that later. So okay, that's the mold. It's the same for all of them, so now we'll go over paint. We'll start with the original, this one. As you can see, it's like a grayish blue, which is what they went for with The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I never researched why. I just liked it. Whatever. White, blue, doesn't matter to me. We have our lasers that are painted red. Next to the ion engine, more red, like orangey red. The top of the cockpit is painted black for the windows. Now for the window itself, the support beams that go out of the circle in the middle are all painted gray to match the color of the TIE Fighter itself. And then we have a darker black around the cockpit, but that's mostly just because the transparent piece is inside of this circle, so it gives the illusion that it's painted, but it's not. It's just because it's recessed. I think that's the word. Whatever. For the wings, we have our dark gray, almost black for the panels. And that's about it. There's not much paint on this one. So next we'll look at the original TIE Fighter. The original TIE Fighter, which is mostly white. It's hard to pick up the detail because there you go. Again, it's the same mold, but instead of dark bluish gray, we have white with pure black panels now. It's not mixed with anything, it's just black. Then we have our red lasers, gray on the glass. And right here it's extra painted, like a dark, almost a black, but it's gray, by the window right there, by my finger, and also on this side. Again, it's painted up at the cockpit on the door, which this one's a little tough, but there's a TIE pilot, painted black. Red on the engines, and also there's some extra black on the bottom and on the side here and around the engines themselves. Well, the little pieces around the engine. And there's black specks on the bottom here too. So it's not just white, it's got some detail in there. And the last TIE Fighter is, I believe it's from the Expanded Universe. It's when, I believe it's Hobby and Biggs, they steal a TIE Fighter or something like that. I might be wrong. You can let me know in the comments. But we'll start with the wings. Same blue as the original TIE Fighter, but now we have silver sprayed on there. And it's pretty good. It's like a metallic silver. And then we have the Rebel symbol that goes around, which is a nice reddish orange. So that's cool. Same for the other side with the silver. And the light picks it up good, it shines. And everything else is the same. You got the dark gray around, again, red lasers. Cockpit opens, there's a TIE pilot again. And one thing about these, the hinge never wants to shut on some of these. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just mine. Like the original shuts well. But all the rest of them, they don't want to. Might be with the mold. And then in the back we have a lot of silver right here. And then again with the two red lights next to the engine. Dark gray, dark gray. And that's about it. Almost forgot. Gotta measure these bad boys. I believe they're around 2.5 almost. Yeah, almost 2.5 inches tall. So it's a pretty good size. A nice tall ship. And they're heavy, like I said, you know, they're all metal. And finally, just like all the other ones, we'll take the original. You know, you take your stand, and it plugs right in there, and sometimes you gotta really force them in there. There you go, straighten that out a little bit. It stands good. Take the original one with the black stand, because it came later on in the series. And they go pretty well together. So, that's my review of the Star Wars Titanium line TIE Fighters, and I'll see you next time.